Hi there, Cindy Hackett. Seeing what the heck? Why does this happen so often to me? You know what? I'm just me being me. Cindy Hackett, realtor at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Drysdale Properties in Modesto, California. And what I was trying to say first was that Cindy Hackett, senior real estate specialist, I've had some people ask me, maybe you saw my Facebook Live when I was out at Dale Commons last Friday, having a super good time out there with those folks. But yes, I am a seniors real estate specialist. That is one of the several hats that I wear in real estate. And so what does that mean? That means that I have taken classes and I've received that designation to be able to help you out when a friend or a family member or someone that you know needs to move to maybe an assisted living community. So I'm affiliated with several different assisted living communities, all the way from Tracy down to Merced. And Berkshire Hathaway has partnered with a company called Paragon Home Resources. And so I work with them. I work with Paragon, and I can tour you around several different assisted living communities in the Central Valley and help you make the right decision for based upon what those needs are. And also, when working with Paragon, there are some fabulous perks. We can, if needed, we can coordinate moving services nationwide. We can set up an estate sale if that's what you need. There are so many services that we can take stuff to Goodwill for you. We can make those arrangements. There are just so many things that we can do so many things I can help you with as a Paragon local representative. Also, hi there, Eric. Also, I have partnered with several other communities in Modesto. And so I have those resources, I have those relationships. So when you have a family member that is in need of moving to an assisted living community, I'm your girl. Give me a shout. And I know it's a really involved process. My own family has gone through it now a couple of times. And so it helps to have somebody that you can rely on that has been through this experience before, that has partnered with so many different communities and can recommend one that really fits well. All right. That being said, let's get on to Market Watch Wednesday. This is where we talk about all the happenings over the past 24 hours in our multiple listing service, which runs from Placer County all the way down to Western Merced, including Placer, El Dorado, Sacramento, Yolo, Amador, Stanislaus, San Joaquin, and like I said, the western half of Merced. And in all of those counties, we talk about new listings, back on market properties, price reductions, pending properties that got their offers accepted, and sold properties. Done. We are finished. And so I do like to only talk about the ones that have had 10% greater or more greater change. And so in the first category of new listings, last week we had 182. This week we are booming up 24% at 225 listings today that went live on the market. Price reductions are down a tick. Last week they were 102 for Wednesday, and this week they're 113 for a difference of 11%. And our solds, people that have closed escrow, and that is up hugely, 50% up. That's amazing. Last week we had 107 on Wednesday, and this week we have 161. 54 more people closed escrow than last Wednesday. That is fantastic. So let's talk for just a minute about seller's market versus a buyer's market, and what does that actually mean? And I know you've been hearing seller's market for 10 plus years now. That I have not been in real estate for decades and decades, but I wonder I wonder what has been the longest run of a market, seller's market versus buyer's market. So what does seller's market mean? Because we continue to be in a seller's market. While we are balancing, it is still a seller's market. It is not a buyer's market. And so truly the difference is pretty simple. When it's a seller's market, there are more buyers than sellers. When it's a buyer's market, there are more sellers than buyers. So that really is just the nitty-gritty of it. Does it mean when it's a seller's market that sellers can just list their house for any stinking price they want and get it? Yes and no. Sure, they can list their house for any stinking price they want. Whether it's reasonable, unreasonable, above market, below market, doesn't matter. A seller chooses the price that they're going to list their house at. But keep in mind, as a buyer, the house has to appraise for what you've offered to the seller. Let's keep the numbers simple. Let's say it's a $300,000 house. That's the average 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage on an average size lot in Modesto. Right now, that price is $300,000. Not taking into account for age or any sort of amenities that property has. So let's say, as the buyer, you offer them, you really want this house and you know that it's a strong market, and so you want to offer them $320,000 because that's going to get your offer accepted. Well, it might get your offer accepted, but the lender is not going to be cool with that. The lender is the one who orders the appraisal that's paid for by the buyer, and the appraiser goes out and they compare all of the properties like the one that you've presented an offer on. And they say, over the last 6 months, what have houses just like this one sold for within a 1/4 mile radius? This is all, it's all very detailed and very intricate. And so you can't take your house that is over by Johansen High School on the east side of town and compare it to one in Dutch Hollow, which is on the very west side of town. No. You need to stay within your own same neighborhood. And so appraisers go by a 1/4 mile radius. And so the lender, at the end of the day, the lender is only going to lend to the buyer as much as the house is worth. They're not gonna, if the appraiser comes back and says this house is worth $300,000, then that's all they're gonna give you in terms of a mortgage. And if you've offered the seller $320,000, where are you going to get that other 20? Maybe you've got it, and maybe the property is worth it to you, and it's your dream home, and it's everything you wanted. And if you've got those resources, fabulous. Sellers made a ton of money. Their neighbors are happy because now you've helped bring up property values. That's all great. So it does not mean that sellers can sell their house for whatever price that they want. And that they're actually going to get it, because most folks need a mortgage. Yes, there's a percentage of people that can pay cash for a home, for sure. And then there's no appraisal involved. And then seller and buyer can just agree on a selling price, and it works out wonderfully. But if there's a lender involved, then that home will need to be mortgaged for exactly what it's worth, and not a penny more. Trust me, not 1 penny more. So that's the difference between a seller's market and a buyer's market. It will be fantastic someday when it's a buyer's market, and I can't wait for that day to come. And that simply means, again, that there's way too many homes on the market and not enough buyers. And so then buyers have so much to pick from. And so we will delve into that another day when it's appropriate, when it actually is a buyer's market. For now, it's balancing. It's balancing, which means there are less number of homes on the market than there have been in the past, and it's coming to, the pendulum is coming to a grinding halt, and it's going to be sitting right there in the middle. So hopefully there's the right number of homes for sale and the right number of buyers. That's a balanced market. All right. I hope you have a fabulous, fantastic rest of your week. Enjoy the weekend, and I will see you here next Wednesday at 3 o'clock for Market Watch Wednesday. All right. Cindy Hackett, Realtor at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Drysdale Properties, helping you open the door to your future. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.